Thorvaldsen is leaning against his statue Hope, the one he liked above all his others. Its classical severity brings out the warmth and humanity of his own character. The serenity and purity which characterize all Thorvaldsen's works are typified in the statue Hope. He shunned the exaggerated and the pretentious. This he demonstrated in Hebe, the Greek goddess of youth and beauty. Her robe hangs in gentle folds and is loosened on her right shoulder. Years later, he modeled a new statue of Hebe. Her robe is now pulled up over both shoulders and hangs in severe folds. The style has become more classical. Thorvaldsen prefers to depict young figures with their unconscious grace, which he so well brings out in his group Cupid and Psyche. Thorvaldsen expresses feelings through the movement of the figure only, as for example in Venus and the Apple. The fine lines of her body, not her face, express the love she feels. Also in the relief of the Graces listening to Cupid singing, greater effect is obtained by the graceful attitudes of the figures than by the expression on their faces. Thorvaldsen had the gift of being able to build up the movement of his figures with an extraordinary smoothness of rhythm and harmony. He often drew his sketches on any odd scrap of paper, but a long time might elapse between his first sketch and the completion of the statue, as in the case of Mercury. Many of Thorvaldsen's figures give the effect of having originated in dreams. This applies, for example, to Cupid and Hymen lighting the wedding torches. A charming irony is present in the scene where Cupid complains to Venus of having been stung by a bee. The little group of Achilles with the dead Penthesilea is only a rough model, but the attitudes of the figures portray deep sorrow, perhaps an expression of some grief that was tormenting the artist himself. A glimpse of Thorvaldsen's innermost feelings is also obtained from the relief depicting the three river nymphs attempting to attract Hylas. He is lost. 2 years later, Thorvaldsen modeled the same motive, but then it had become the expression of an artist's liberation. Hylas resists the winning. Despondency was not unknown to Thorvaldsen. His relief, The Night, was modelled during the last hours of a sleepless night. Silently, night floats towards the earth with sleep and death in its embrace. But with the morning, despondency vanishes. Almost playfully, he created the day rising above the earth. A mother's affection and tenderness for her children are brought out in the little relief, Caritas. In his later years, he gave life to the great figures of the Christian religion, which were to decorate the Church of Our Lady in Copenhagen. As a gable ornament, he composed the group John the Baptist Preaches. The interior of the church was molded into a complete artistic whole. Christ at the altar, and in the aisle, the 12 apostles. Thorvaldsen made many models of Christ, sometimes with outstretched or raised arms, blessing or praying, until he hit upon the attitude that satisfied him most. And now the transfigured Christ stands inviting the children of men to come unto him, as he was conceived and created, in spirit and in beauty, by Denmark's great sculptor.